Good evening, everyone. We are here moving our hens into their new coop. And we do it at night. That's why you're seeing the red light. Because for a few reasons. One, it doesn't stress them out. Two, you don't have to chase them around. And three, what ends up happening is they wake up in their new home. And so that kind of helps the adjustment period for them to know where to go when they are able to get out of the coop. And they know where to go back. So we've moved them all in, and then the other part that we do is we get these little rings that we put around their ankles, and you can get them in all different colors and quantity. And so fortunately we have 50 rings, and there was 50 hens, and that way we know what age is the bunch and what color, by the color ring that they have. So it's just kind of a helpful tip that we've started to implement here on the farm. And that's it for tonight. Tomorrow we'll move them down on the pasture, and they will have their happy new home. Good night. So it's moving day today for our new hens. They are coming out to the pasture. I just picked a spot out, but this is how we move our mobile coop. And what we're gonna do with these guys is we're actually going to put a fence around them, and then some shade cloth over top of that fence. And the reason for that is, in past, what we've had to do anytime we move our hens down here is they all like to go up to the horses. Can't really see that well, but they like to roost along the fence line there. And then for about a week at night, we're picking them off the fence and putting them back in the coop. So to have this not happen, we're going to put some no-climb fencing, just a big like circular panel of it around the coop, so they can still get out, they can still get adjusted to their surroundings, but know that they have to go home into the coop at night, and they can't just go roost somewhere else. We're going to do the shade cloth over the top of it so they have room to roam around in the front, but they won't jump and fly over the fencing, because they're already jumping a 6-foot fence that we have, and they went and hung out with the turkeys a bunch, which is fine, just we know they have this ability and we're trying to avoid that. So stay tuned. So we have a little bit of a game changer, and our thought by doing this no-climb fencing is that it's so thin that the hens shouldn't land on it to roost or feel they should fly over it. I wanted to do some a shade cloth or some kind of top over it to keep them in, so we wouldn't have to worry about checking on the hens to make sure they'd go back in the coop at night. So what we found though with unrolling this is that if it leaned against the plastic, it potentially would poke a hole. Not the end of the world, just something we didn't want to have to deal with. So we're gonna give this a whirl, and see how it goes. In the meantime, I'm waiting for these lovely hens to figure out this stinking door. 2 figured it out, and one of them flew back in, but they're all piled up at the exit there, and they're taking their sweet time. So at this rate, I could be here all day. But it's supposed to get in the 80s here in northern Nevada, and so I know that coop will get warm enough that they'll, if anything, that warmth will push them out. And having said that, it's about 10 in the morning and should only be about 60 degrees out, and that vent's already open. So it definitely gathers enough solar energy, solar heat, that it gets warm. Soon we'll get some thermometers on a cold day, and we'll do a test on the inside and outside just to show you the difference. But I see now I've got 2 hens, so we're making progress on this door. We don't move them until we notice a couple start laying eggs. I don't know that that's necessary. It just makes sense in our brain, really. Because then we just feel they're old enough, they're big enough, they can handle themselves. So my husband just told me that I needed to show you that there is an egg in here and how this all kind of works out. So I'm gonna open this up, and oh, there it is. Dun, 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 dun. So out of 50 hens, we got 2 that were roosters. Okay, so out of 50 chicks, 2 were roosters, and so 48 of them, we're starting, I would say the last 2-3 days, we're starting to get about 3 a day, so they are definitely starting to get in action.